All right. And 5,
Hey.
4,
Hey.
3, 2. What up, y'all? Welcome to Here's the Thing. I'm Kevin on stage. Welcome to another podcast episode. Smash that like button. Smash that notification button. If you're in LA, get Ball Brothers tickets. Today's topics. Kirk Franklin says marriage has been weaponized by Western Christianity, and he reveals why he didn't talk to his mom for over 20 years. Tracy Ellis Ross was trending because she was taking thirst traps, and the internet was all the rage. And we also got Tyler Perry's Divorce in Black that has driven more signups to Prime Video in the U.S. than any other Amazon MGM Studios produced movie to date.
Oh. Yeah.
Disney tries to Disney, what they did was the man's wife had an allergic reaction, and they said you waived the right to sue us because you signed up for Disney Plus. What? They was tripping, and the chicken lady who went to jail for the $1.5 million got 9 years. The Kansas City player wants to pay her debt. All right, all that's on the bonus episode, which if you're on Patreon, you're getting full. If not, you get this snippet, and we hope you're happy about it. All right, let's jump in. Mm-hmm. Kirk Franklin was on Cam Newton's podcast.
Great podcast.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
Funky Friday.
Man. Oh, yeah.
Funky Friday. And he had this to say about Christianity, or marriage and Christianity.
We know you're going to get it. You got stuff to do.
Hey,
I
right,
feel like
Ken?
that's why your words are fighting each other.
You're really excited today.
I believe that marriage has been weaponized in Western Christianity. Giving has been weaponized in Western Christianity. Sexuality has been weaponized. For example, any woman listening to this can attest in our culture. Don't be no 30, 35-year-old single black woman and go to the family reunion. All the older women are going to do nothing. They're going to look at you and wonder, why you not married?
Where your man at? Where your kids at?
Like it's a prerequisite for identity and value. That if you don't have a man, if you don't have kids, that something about you is broken. Do you understand how dysfunctional these messages are?
Yeah.
And how we super spiritualize these messages. Paul said, but marriage is a necessary distraction. I have many friends that were in ministry at church, and the church has told them, if you're going to be in ministry, you can't be single. We're not going to let you work with the youth ministry if you're single. You can't do this if you're single. And so what people do, they quickly get married thinking that they're fulfilling God's will for their lives, but they are fulfilling man's dogma. You can be single and be used by God. You can be single and have purpose. Being married is not a prerequisite for God's hand on your life. It is not. But we've weaponized it. And then crucify people.
Phone call, Craig.
Right there. And then crucify people when those same marriages fail.
Fail!
I thought he said, damn.
Angel, as a black woman, what are your thoughts? Married, weaponized woman.
Yeah. I agree and I don't agree. And what I mean by I don't agree is that marriage has always been a weapon against women. Like religion didn't all of a sudden do it. The purpose of marriage was for a man to have legitimate offspring and for the woman to become his property.
Give him the coochie and get 3 goats out the back.
Things, man.
Get these 3 goats out the back and take my daughter.
That's it. Marriage was never, the origins of marriage were never in favor of a woman having just love.
An agency over her choices.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I get that he wants to blame it all on religion. Religion has definitely only enhanced that, but marriage and where it like started from was never on par with 2 people loving each other and deciding they want to have a future. It was all about these dudes want to be able to say, those really my kids. These are not by the whores that I be sleeping with.
Marriage is more like Game of Thrones marriages.
Exactly.
That was like, give these legitimate things and help out in the farm.
Yeah.
That's what we need these kids for.
Yes.
We need more hands to pull stuff.
Now, what I will say, the part that I agree with Kirk Franklin, religion's part, specifically in modern day Christianity, is that if you begin to pair it with what he's saying of you can't do certain things in the church unless you are married, you're now using it as like a kind of like blackmail manipulation type of thing.
Yeah.
If you want to be closer to God or be able to be used, we need you to fall in line with this. But I think even the origins of marriage prior to adding religious beliefs to it have always been in favor of men, and women kind of becoming these things, these Funko Pops. Who is you?
Aaron,
Who is this white man on my
see,
desk?
you was just saying that, and Aaron Yeager done made himself over there.
This is his concubine of women. Get your
You
white
get
tail
your
over
butt
there.
over here, Aaron Yeager. You know you don't be over there with them Eldians.
Oh
Stay
my
over here with the
God.
other anime people.
So,
So much going on these desks, man.
Somebody said my desks look like hoarders, and it's just like, man, it's a story of the
and so there
podcast.
is a dead cat up there. You're not a hoarder.
Y'all got to look at the beginning of the podcast when these things was naked.
I know.
You can see when we got inspired by the pandemic,
Yeah.
when we started supporting black women in basketball.
Oh, yeah.
When
It's
I
a
was watching
history.
the Mandalorian. There's a whole story here, man. I went to
Whole
Mexico
story.
for Christmas.
Oh,
God dang it. The white man fell.
He's like, if I can't be with my women.
He's not white. He's Eldian.
Oh.
What is that? A fancy word for white?
No, man. It's the whole thing in Attack on Titan.
But-
ATOT.
Long story of the short is that I understand the sentiment of what Kurt is saying, but I do feel like anytime you're pushing something that its origins were never meant for the good of, in this particular instance, women, it is going to be hard to remove those pieces of it, and the church is not trying to.
No, I didn't know that's how you were going to end your statement. Well, the church is just not trying to.
They're not trying to. They're like, yeah, we'll just won't use the property word, but you know.
Yeah, I think I agree with you and Kirk. I think the evolution of marriage, you know, even like I was watching the show Warrior on Max, or no, on Netflix. Mm-hmm. It originally aired on Cinemax, not HBO Max, not to be confused.
Not to be confused with Max.
Yeah, but anyway, it was about it's about this Chinese immigration into San Francisco post the Civil War, and all the men were talking one day, and his wife had something to say, right? And she had made this great point. The mayor's wife had made this great point. He was like, and then the dude was like, "Well, good thing you can't vote." And I was like, "Yo,
That's so crazy.
like, women, you know, have been disenfranchised for. Listen, America's the only people America has benefited from the jump are white white men.
Yeah.
Everybody else has struggled in one way or the other. Some people's worse than others, but since the descent of white people, I should say, the native people had a good thing going until the colonizers came over with smallpox blankets and all that. But since the descension of white people to America, the only people who have truly benefited through and through from the beginning are white men. The rest of us is just trying to make our way. I think in the church specifically, and even like a lot of times, even if your family isn't super churchy ideologies still, you know, are there, right? Yeah. And also, if you think about it, like marriage in America, outside, to your point, outside of the black church, even in, you know, the 20th century, it was like, well, women, you can't work, y'all can't get jobs. Like, that marriage was vehicle for survival for women. Like, I have to marry you because I can't go out and get a job. I can't put my name on an application. I can't get a credit card. This is not hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And I think low key, I think a lot of men nowadays are struggling because now you're finding out that women don't have that need to marry you to survive. They have money.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. A lot of time, well, you're going to be sad and be a cat lady. People they be having cats. They don't be having cats. But people be peaceful, single.
Some people have allergies.
Some people have allergies. You have dogs. Some people have birds. But what they're finding is women are being single and not being crazy cat ladies.
Yeah.
And they reject that moniker or they embrace it. They listen, I know a lot of black single women, 30 and up. You know what they do? spend money like drug dealers.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
travel, they be in vacation.
All the time.
They be having a blast. And what it's requiring of men now is you don't have to just be like, I have job, I have house, you live with me. She like, I have job, I have house.
Yeah.
I got more money than you in a lot of instances. I have rose. I have dildo. I have satisfaction.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot of
DJ.
things.
The Rose of Sharon.
I got Rose of Sharon. And you listen, good peeing can't compete with robotics. That's the first AI.
Look at
that
yeah.
thing's licking and sticking. It's sucking and licking. You only got to peeing in the tongue. You can't lick and stick in the same stroke.
But you
the
know
Rose
what?
is Angel. We know.
I'm just saying, it's a lot. Don't know that you can talk about it, but when I enter
Angel,
conversation, you're like, hush.
Get in the kitchen. What are you doing?
I got 50 million points real quick. One, I will agree that men have a hard time being moved from a place of necessity to a place of desire. So meaning that it's no longer that I need you, I have to want you in order for you to be in my space.
And that's a difference.
That was what I had to figure out when I first got married, because the things that Marcus would do like around the house, I did not consider them a necessity, even though I was grateful, but I was like, we could hire people to do this. But then I had to, as a young wife, realize these are things that I actually want, even though I didn't need them, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like if the AC breaks down or something, I would like AC, but there are people who I could call.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All kind of companies.
Oh, everybody can do it. Anybody can do it. But realizing, oh, no, I actually desire to have this in my house. And a lot of men don't like to be in the position of, I got to wait for you to want me as a person. I need you to need me.
Yeah.
And I am too much of an independent woman for me to pretend like I need you to do some shit that I actually don't need you to do.
Right. And it requires more of you as a man. It ain't, and this is the thing, and listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I have been a growing person, right? I was influenced by the society in which I grew up. And that tells you're a man, you go to work, you protect this house, and your wife, she helps raise the kids and she keeps the home. When I tell you I was in for a rude awakening one day, because what I forgot is in the 1930s and 40s, the one thing a lot of the men did, they did go to work, and then women didn't go to work. A lot of time, men, we was wanting the women, we want the same benefit of the 1920s, but we don't we ain't single breadwinning house. The breadwinner supposed to win the bread,
A lot of those
deliver
men-
the bread.
All those men had second families too.
So did. That's why that person looked like you. It was your cousin. Right?
It was your half brother,
That was your
cousin.
That was your brother. Like, you look familiar, that nigga. We got the same daddy. We just don't know. But what happened was, me and Melissa was both winning bread. And I was like, I remember one day I came home. This was in LA. I ain't even gonna tell you. This was when we were early married.
Oh, LA, God dog.
This was like 2013. This
I've
is
been in LA for 2 seconds.
2014, probably 10 years ago. I learned this lesson good. I came home frustrated, and I was working at All Def first, and I was not used to driving an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours each way. That was in Washington. A 30-mile trip was 30 minutes.
Right.
Okay,
No.
good math. 60 miles per hour. I can go 60 miles per hour.
No, that's not happening out here.
All Def was 23 miles from my home. It took me no less usually than an hour and a half to get there in the morning, and sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours back, right? I came home frustrated one day. Melissa worked like 15 minutes from the house. She worked full day. She went and got the kids, helped with homework. She came home, was cooking dinner. And I was like, man, dinner's not ready.
What's up, guys?
You were watching the bonus.
You were.
But listen, y'all, Angel's a creator. YouTube ain't YouTubing the way it used to.
Sure ain't.
Listen, I checked my stuff. I said, my God, today.
And they were like, you got 2 pennies for this video. I was like, well, thank you.
Podcast ain't podcasting, so we the rest is on Patreon. Please join us if you can. If you can't, watch what you can for free.
Yeah.
There's more there, but if you ain't got it or you don't want it, it's our responsibility to tell you. But here's the thing.
Don't just join it for us. The content is great.
Oh, yeah.
You paying $5 to get extra content. You get an extra episode of Here's the Thing.
Yeah.
You got other things. You got Here's the Thing Reacts.
Good times.
You got Ask Kev revamped.
We got all kind of stuff.
So bring your butt over.
Bring your
y'all.
rump. All right. Peace.
Here's another banger for you. Here's another one, yeah. Here's another banger for ya. Here's another one, yeah. Here's another banger for ya. Here's another banger for ya. With my boy Kev on stage, and that chick Angel.